Hello friends, my name is Redseven, and in this video we will be dedicating some time analyzing the current status of the game, talking about what's good and bad with some healthy criticism, and spending a moment on thinking where this journey could go. Of course, this is a personal view, personal perspective. It may not apply to everyone, but taking into consideration that the majority of you have normal PCs like me, it will be something all of you will be interested in. Not all of us have streamers PCs, right? So after coming back from vacation, I dedicated a pretty good amount of time to the game to reach level 40 and to test different mechanics, maps and items, and here is what I have to say about the game so far. So I suggest let's talk about the positive things first and then about the negative stuff. What I like the most about this partial wipe is the different approach the devs had regarding completing and delivering missions, regarding trading for rare items and adding the option to trade for your favorite things. Sadly, I have seen today, the 26th of August 2018, that some of the trading items got removed from the traders and only the money option remains. This only happens for me, which I'm level 40. I just checked the same situation with Twinkie. He's a lower level, I think he's 38 or something like that, and he still has the option. He, for example, can buy a plate carrier with the help of a GP5 and the red mask. I don't have that option anymore. I loved how you could only exclusively be able to trade for that expensive plate carrier, for example. You had to find a GP5 gas mask, as I said, and the red face mask and trade in for the plate. Now that option is not in game anymore, not for me. It has been removed. Why? I don't understand. Maybe if you reach level 40 and you can buy it, it goes away. It's something that I don't understand. So this way of obtaining things was or is a very good option for the players who are like me, like grinding. You get a special feeling when you see that GP5 bot on factory running away from you, and after killing him you quickly hurry up to make space in your gamma to save the mask because you know it's very valuable. Same happens with common stuff like the blue tape, for example. No one was caring about it till now. Now you know that if you get 20 of them, you get yourself an EBR. What a cool looking weapon, right? The guy that had this idea and implemented it in the game, it's a very clever person. I hope that this will not stop. I hope it will go even further with more items. The addition of the junk box is, in my opinion, the confirmation that this will go on. The next thing that I also liked is the balanced and fine-tuning the devs added to certain quests. Gunsmithing quests are more accessible now, even if you're not level 40. You happily go into the raid and search for every weapon crate, every box, with the hope to find that last stack flashlight, or the night force scope, or the rotor suppressor you need. Some of those quest items were added to the traders as well. You can buy the rotor with 8 packs of Lucky Strike, for example. This was not possible before. You had to go to a certain Discord to buy it from someone, to ask your friends to build that weapon for you. Now the devs are keeping it in their own house, so to speak. With some small exceptions, I did all my missions like that, and it was very rewarding. I like doing missions, it's a lot of fun, but I understand if you're different. It's normal. Don't forget here though that this is EFT and not your normal FPS shooter where you jump into the game and shoot and kill everyone, then eventually die and start all over again. Remember this when you double click that icon. The addition of the new weapons and new attachments, the new equipment that has been added, are also a plus point for the game. Very cool stuff has been added, and now that I am level 40, I begin to see that there are great things out there. Look at this M4 build, for example. Look at the new scopes and the new AK attachments, or Vapor attachments, or FNFL stuff for the SKS. Check out the new plate carrier, the Gen 4 armor, the flashbangs. Also, what about the Scav boss, and more and more. Now, I'm not going to talk about too much about this matter because the more I write my script, the more I realize that I'm doing a sort of patch review, which I didn't do because of lack of time. And we are here to talk about things slightly different. But you should definitely give the new things a try and test which one of them suit you best and give your weapon the best recoil, the best maneuverability. Not only your weapon, but also your character. Another thing that impressed me is the way the game achieves to keep the player engaged. I've noticed this while doing my quests. I was like, one more round of interchange, who knows, maybe I will find that gazelle. Or one more shoreline and kill those damn 10 USECs. Certainly, that was the most frustrating mission I had to complete. Like, ever. I went into raids where I killed squads of 3-4 bears and I was like, what? This is not possible. I have noticed here though that as soon as I finished the quests, I suddenly had nothing to do except PvP, weapon customization and making money, which is pretty easy, too easy if you ask me. In my opinion, this is something the devs still need to work with. It is too easy to make money and there's nothing else to do after finishing the quests. Just look at some streamers, soon after level 40 they wipe or start hardcore challenges, again except those hardcore PvP players. You get the point, right? But I believe they are working on new missions and new tasks for the player. So we'll see what the future reserves. We also have to talk about the negative stuff, and this is relative depending on your expectation level. I must admit I started with a high level and in time I understood that all early access games have issues. A lot of them. Even finished game had huge problems, e.g. Battlefield 4 and the bad netcode, which has been fixed though, pun intended. So if you are new here and are thinking to buy this game, do not expect the game to be perfect, cause it's far from being that. That's the reality. I sadly must admit that despite the fact that there were several small game updates, technical updates and hotfixes, the game is almost in the same status as before my vacation. There are no major changes network-wise so far, besides less stutters and maybe some better FPS on maps like Shoreline for example. The major changes are expected with the coming of the new technical update very soon. It better be good. Now, don't understand me wrong, the game is totally playable and enjoyable, but sometimes some raids are very frustrating, very bad. Let me explain a bit more. You can play like 3-4 raids normally. You find some stuff, you kill some and or die like in normal conditions, but there is always this raid that fucks up everything. The most annoying things are the bad netcode and the unfair picker's advantage. Dissing and lag are extremely punishing in certain raids as well. You sometimes experience extreme lag and FPS drops when starting a gunfight. On top of that, we have to deal with multiple hackers. A lot of them in my opinion. Although we see ban lists, EFT is very easily hackable. I don't want to encourage this, but this is the truth. What makes it worse is the fact that hackers cannot be immediately reported and you're not always sure if you died in legit conditions. I always say this to my friends, in normal conditions you have the chance to see the guy, at least to see him, to do something, to fight back. You shoot at him, he shoots back and you die, normal. Sometimes you get headshotted while looting a box, also normal. But when you have to deal with a hacker, he is most of the times one step ahead of you. So you don't see him or he somehow manages to shoot you first and strangely he kills you and your teammates with only 2-3 shots. So what I am saying is that you know how good you are and you know what you're capable of. If what happens is beyond your understanding and you died in very strange situations, then you probably got killed by a wall hacker, aimbotter or a god mode hacker. Remember, almost all hackers try to play like you do. They don't want to expose themselves. Some of them even went on Reddit and admitted they were hacking for long periods of time and no one banned them. My personal opinion is that the game is filled with hackers. We have to mention here and differentiate the what I call the division situation. The game sometimes turns into a bad version of EFT, which is far from being hardcore, and if it's realistic, it's also discussable. I have several situations where I literally put whole mags into someone's chest with the hope to kill him and nothing happened. Now, don't say this is normal, because it's not. Let me explain why. Most of the armors have only a metal plate in the middle chest area and maybe one on the back area. Plate which is impenetrable with normal rounds, right? So that means that not all the torso zone is covered by the plate, right? Correct so far. The rest of the armor is not that armored, so to speak. Therefore, what you see here is not realistic. This is a whole 30 round BP mag into that guy. Yes, I missed some shots, but he should have died. Also have some footage with the scav, same shit. The hell, even common sense tells you that that guy should have died, right? The forum is also talking about this, and the streamers and Reddit and so on. So if you tell me that this is the way to be, then you should rethink the way you view this matter. Personally, I chose this game because of it being hardcore. I don't want to see myself putting whole mags into someone's ass and then asking for a Kit Kat small break because I need to go grab some more ammo from the stash. So if the game decides to go this way, then I will probably search for something else and come back to EFT only occasionally for some nice weapon customization. And I believe more players agree with me. You may say going for the legs is the solution. Do you think so? I mean, I don't like that shit, man. And what do you do if you only see the upper part of the body? I think it would be nice to see or hear what a real life soldier has to say or has to do, or what they do in such situations when dealing with such juggernauts, you know. Another thing that bothers a lot is the mentioned bad picker's advantage. Almost no one speaks about it on YouTube, but everyone who plays aggressive exploits it. Rushing someone who's camping and waiting for you in a room is definitely a 100% kill success. It worked for us multiple times. You don't need flashbangs anymore, because the camper will only see you and start shooting in his last moment before he starts dying. Rushing works every time, which is not necessarily good because there is that tactical player who always gets punished. In CQC situation, only the aggressive gameplay is rewarded, and that's not cool. Following this line, we could also talk about the AI being sometimes either very stupid or extremely intelligent, and about some gameplay mechanics which need improvement, and also about the door glitchers, who are, by the way, going to be addressed in the new patch according to the guys. But for now, let's wait for the new technical update and see how the game changes. So there you have it. Here is the current EFT situation viewed by me with my eyes. If you were wondering if you should buy the game or not, or come back to it or not, the game is totally playable, no doubt about that, but it has issues. My recommendation, if you want to buy it, is to start with the standard version and to try the game, and if you like it a lot, then upgrade. Personally, I think that the devs need to do something about the netcode. That is the main issue. The community agrees with me on this one. You may say, yeah, that is what they are always doing. It's a long process, the team is small and so on. Yeah, we understand that. We need to see results soon. Where are the expected results? I mean, it cannot take 4 years like in DayZ, right? Also keep this in mind, a bunch of nice new games are about to launch, and I'm afraid that a lot of the players will leave. Back when I used to play DayZ, I used to say that I will never leave that game, but I left it. Same will happen if the next EFT patches will disappoint. If the new games deliver good content and a serious team of devs, then we will be forced to leave EFT and only come back and play occasionally. Remember my words, I know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna wrap the video up with a big thank you to my patrons for supporting me and to you for watching my content. Subscribe if you found the video useful and write a comment if you have a question or suggestion. Also remember that we have the community tab now. So take care of yourselves, don't play too much, a beautiful and challenging life is waiting for you out there. Redseven out, peace.